but it crippled me. Absolutely crippled me. My bills got knocked off, my TV got knocked off. I lived on nothing. No one knew. No one. I'd let no one know. Out of shame. I was so embarrassed. You know, I was embarrassed because I was getting no maintenance, because the person that should have been giving me maintenance wanted me to ask for it. I don't ask for anything. And I learned that from being with that person. So I never asked. And I just kept going and going, scraping away, and I got it. The week before I passed as a personal trainer, I fought for Ireland in the World Championships, and I got silver medal. That was the biggest accomplishment of my life, to stand on a podium in second place with the Irish flag around me. I never once was into fitness in my life. I never was in school, no hurling, no nothing. Hated it. Small little fat thing. That was it. That's being honest. But I was so bubbly, really bubbly, so much confidence. This didn't bother me, you know, and people loved me for it because I was just me. Nothing bothered me. So after I fought, I got my results. I passed the personal trainer. The gym I was training in offered me a job, which I took. And I was there. People seeing the weight I lost, they were like, yeah, her personal trainer, she's amazing, amazing. They didn't know what I went through to get the weight loss. You know, it was horrific. But look, I got clients in, loads of clients, totally exhausted myself, overworked, made a great name for myself, but never dealt with any depression, never dealt with any of my issues, ignored every single thing, ignored everything I was put through, just to have this front for everyone, because I was a happy person, kickboxing, winning trophies, winning medals, great mammy to my kids, everything was great. Not a penny in my pocket, but everything was great. And one night, I went in, I had a bath, kids was in bed, and I just sat on my bed, and literally, bang, my heart stopped, and I thought I was dying. And that was the start of severe anxiety attacks for me. I didn't even know what anxiety attack was. So I let it go, calmed down, let it go, kept breathing, and it eased off. I sobbed for the whole night, saying, what the fuck is wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I couldn't. Nothing made heads or tails, nothing. I didn't know what, my head was going to blow. I couldn't get it. I was out there fighting. I was a personal trainer. What was wrong with me? Again, for weeks and weeks went, I was in this hole. I was personal training people. I didn't want a PT. I didn't want to work. I just wanted to die. In that little room that I was in, I wanted to stay there, curled up. Did you ever see the picture of the man? You know, the picture of the man on Instagram, and it's the little boy at the back of his skull, and that's the way that upsets me when I think, because that's the way I wanted to be. I didn't want to die. There was nothing like that. There was no outlook for me. So I kept going. I got busier and busier. Again, everything went over my head. Got myself together. Your good days, your bad days, good weeks, bad 3 days. No one knew. I'd get over it. I knew what was wrong with me. I ended up going to the doctor, going to put you on antidepressants. I'm not taking antidepressants. Don't need antidepressants, I'm grand. Me training. Training was the only thing I lived for. That took me away from everything, but it didn't get rid of it. That was my problem. I was training not to feel. And I wasn't feeling, I was feeling great. But I was training too much, and I wasn't letting shit get on top of me. So it just came down like a cloud, and bang, destroyed me. I then decided to go out on my own. Don't ask where it came from. Crazy. I remember my little fella Reece saying to me, one day you're going to have your own gym. I was like, no, son, no, I won't. I'm grand here, working 20 hours, not bothering me, grand. No, Matt, you're going to have your own gym. Within 4 months, I had my own gym. I had a small unit up in Super Value in Ashbourne where I started. I don't know how I got there. I haven't a clue. I don't know how it happened. I don't know where I got the money. I don't know. But it happened. And I was there And every one of these on this side came with me. Every one of them. I got busier and busier. I got more anxious and anxious. No one ever knew I'd walk into the gym, big smile on my face. Even though if I wasn't training, teaching a class, you're in that environment. So you're seeing people's moods lifting, which lifts your mood. I mean, people walk into my gym now and they don't want to be there. They don't want to be there. I walk into my gym some mornings and I don't want to be there. And once you start, that music goes, the buzz is there, and you are just glowing. It just takes your mind away from everything. It's amazing. You don't need I didn't need antidepressants to get rid of that. For what? It's going to do nothing. Numb me or whatever. I've never taken them. I had to move gyms. I was in Orlando. I got a phone call that I was after being accepted for a house for a rent to buy. I was in rented accommodation, and I went to Orlando. I treated my kids to a holiday that I could never treat them to. Within the same, I think it was 3 or 4 months, I was moved into my house, my own home, opened up a business, things that I never, ever dreamt of. And that's what fitness done for me, because I wasn't letting any depression or anxiety win. No way was that. I just kept pushing, even though I was knocking the shit back over me shoulder, not the. If I'd have dealt with them, I'd have probably had a nervous breakdown. Which leads me to last year, when I did move gyms. Massive, massive decision. Best decision of my life. Didn't know whether it was going to work. Why wouldn't it work? I was told by my parents, you're crazy, you're mad, not happening. You're going to fail, you'll have nothing. Okay, it's grand. I now have an amazing gym with 130 plus members. But I worked every day, 17 hours a day, seeing my kids. I had no choice. You're building your business. You have no choice. Again, everything was put to the back. Nothing dealt with. Still going through court battles with, well, my son's dad. Still getting abusive, still getting controlled. I never dealt with it. And then, last September, I had a nervous breakdown. Literally 3 weeks. And no one knew. And it's then I was at my lowest. Me thinking that I was at my lowest when I was on my knees a few years ago. No, this is an all new low. This was the lowest anyone could ever go. And that's when I didn't think about suicide, but I didn't want to live. For fucking what? I kept going through this shit. Kept going, there was nothing. 2 beautiful kids there, have a great business. But what was going on in my head? What's wrong with me? I didn't know what was wrong. You know, so 3 weeks, I went to the doctor. He gave me some anti-anxiety tablets, and he told me to take one a day for 3 days. And I took half one for about 3 or 4 days. And I started coming around. I was grand. You know, it took the edge off it. And then I had my own nutrition coach, so I then went to her, and she knew everything about me. And she told me that it's about time you go and get help. So I made a video on Mental Awareness Day, I think it was October, was it, last year? And it was a 10-minute video, and it took me about 2 hours before I put it live. And I put it on Instagram, and then I put it on Facebook. And I was fucking shitting. It was a horrible feeling, because you know what? I just told the world, 2,500 followers. I might have 20,000 soon with you beside me. But 2,500 followers is going to see exactly what I've gone through for the last 3 weeks. So I went to counselling, and a girl that trains in SDF, she's a counsellor, and I asked for recommendations, and she gave me a very good counsellor, which was her boss. And I've been going weekly to that counsellor. I've been out training, weight training with my shoulder. But when I had that little mini breakdown, which is what it was, and I got myself out of it, I remembered how I got myself out of the last time. And it was kickboxing. I hadn't fought since I won the silver in the Worlds because of work. I was out the door. So the only way I could get myself out of this shit again was to go kickboxing. So I went kickboxing. And that was the best thing that I've done so far. The last few months, my own family, my mum and dad has gone through so much shit, which affects your children. That shit has me back down again in a really bad place. But the last few weeks I've been going to my counsellor, and I've learned to say, it's not my shit. It's not mine. Why am I taking someone else's shit on? Why am I worrying about my mum and dad? They're big and bold enough to do their own thing. No, let them deal with it. I have a life. Well, I'm not going to let somebody ruin my life. I let one person try and do it before. I'll never let that happen again. But I am always going to battle with severe anxiety. I'll mostly probably once every 2 weeks take the feet and put my feet around when I get out of bed, and I have anxiety coming up my neck because that's me, and I've accepted that. I am getting to the stem and the root of why I suffer with depression and with anxiety. I know why. It's learning how to deal with it. All I can say to you is, if you exercise, do what works for you. You don't need to go to a gym. You don't need to go. Don't mind somebody to say you need to go to gym, you did it. No, you don't. For you to feel good and get out of a depression and help you deal with it, it's not going to get rid of your problems. Nothing will, unless you find a source of that depression. Nothing will get rid of it. But it will help you deal with it in the best possible way. Not only exercise, walking, sit by the sea, thinking in clear air is the most amazing feeling ever. A clean diet. People that are depressed and suffer with anxiety, most of them suffer with eating disorders, and they would self-sabotage. They'd binge eat when they feel like shit, when they're exhausted. I'd binge eat when I'm exhausted. And people that don't say, no, I don't, you're liars. We all fucking have a binge every now and again. Everyone does. And that's where I am okay. I am fine with standing and saying, I would suffer with an eating disorder because that's what it is. When I'm exhausted, I don't self-sabotage. It's just exhaustion. It's an emotional feeling. And I'm very connected with my emotions. And I'm very open with everyone in my gym. They know when I have a bad day, they'll come in, they'll give me the biggest hug. And if they have a bad day, I will do exactly the same. You know, and that's all that matters. If you can hug somebody, that will make a massive difference. If you can support somebody, that will make an even better difference. If you can just listen to somebody, my God, that can help them change their life. I changed my life through fitness. That's my niche. The nail courses, the beautician's courses, meant nothing. I was born to do this. I wasn't born to just get people fit. I was born to deal with people the way I deal with people, in an emotional way, in a mental way. You know, we have chats, we have little counselling sessions, you know. It's an amazing environment. And when you find that support network, stick with it, grab hold of it, and don't let it go. Thank you for listening to me.